Her and her two daughters, Vida and Alessia, have been through so much and are still in their recovery journey. So, Maite Rodriguez, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks for having me. So, Alessia was diagnosed at birth, and I always knew I was a sickle cell carrier. That was just something that we talked about in our family. But there was also this conversation around sickle cell trait is only carried by people of color. I married the fairest skinned Hispanic man you could ever find with green eyes and like all of the markings of someone that apparently wouldn't have sickle cell. So we have Alessia and she gets tested and, here we are. We have sickle cell. We end up with 21 embryos. Out of our 21 embryos, half of them have sickle cell. The other half are sickle cell free, but have like a whole bunch of different things. But out of the 21, we ended up with Arvida, and she was the one match that was sickle cell free. So we transferred and we have Vida.
Did Alessia's providers bring up the topic of transplant? Or did you, as a mother, watching your child's illness become more complex, do the research on your own to then reach out to the providers to say, hey, I think we need to start this process or start thinking about this transformative therapy process?
The conversation started from the time that Alessia was very young.
I'm glad that this was something that was brought up to you very early on because the transformative therapy process, as you know, is not simple. It's not easy. Decisions are hard to make, especially considering all that you are juggling. And so to have had a year to even start thinking about that from week 2 of her life, when you get to 18 months, it's not a new conversation.
They wouldn't even let you go through the process of transformative therapies if you don't take time, especially for that initial 4 to 6 month pre, during,
Mhm.
and then the early posting after your day zero. How did you prepare your family for that process?
So mentally, for Alessia, Dario, and me, Vida's too young again to understand anything that's going on. But for Alessia, the process started way before we had this conversation, and I try to be very open. And I'm one of those people that does think that children do need to be involved in these processes, especially when it's happening to their bodies. So we always had these open conversations about bone marrow transplants and what that meant for people. And I started hinting one day. I'm like, hey, like one day you may have a bone marrow transplant and it'll get rid of your